All right, and the last two problems, again, we had some trouble with these, so let's go through them. Let's show them step by step, and we'll go slow together. So we've got this negative out in front, and we've got -3 times -3. Okay, this is going to become a +9. So let's make a little note of that. -3 times -3. Okay, -3 squared is -3 times -3, which equals 9. So that's how we're getting this 9 right here. So as we move along, we've got -2 squared. Well, 2 squared is 4. So let's make a little note of that. Okay, so that's where we got that 4 from. So last we just need to simplify. We've got -9 minus 4, which is -13. So if there's any questions or we went too fast, let's make sure we stop the video and review it. So again, step by step here, we've got this negative sign out in front, and then we've got 4 squared, which is 16. So if you want to make a little side note of that. Four squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. So that's how we got that 16 there, and this negative is out in front. Now as we move left to right, we still have our addition sign here. And now we've got -2 cubed. Okay, -2 cubed means -2 times -2 times -2. There's an odd number of negative signs, so we're going to have one left over. -2 times 2 is 4, and we're still left with -2 there. And then we get -8. So that's why -2 cubed is -8. Okay, as we move along, still have this that minus sign. And then we've got -1 to the 4th. So that means we're repeating -1 4 times. Well, we've got an even number of negative signs, so it should be a positive. -1 times -1 is +1 times -1 times -1. Here we get -1 times -1, and then we get a +1. So if those steps are confusing, let's make sure we stop the video to revisit that so you can see why we get a +1. Okay, but we still have that subtraction sign in front. That hasn't changed yet. So let's keep simplifying, and we have to use those order of operations or that PEMDAS. So we got to work left to right with addition and subtraction. So we get -24. We still have -1. So we get -25. So if there's any questions right now, let's make sure we stop the video so that everybody has this written down, so that when you go to do a retake on your formative assessment, you should be good to go on these problems. Okay, remember you have a quiz on Friday, a graded quiz, that'll be just like your formative assessment. So after completing this now, you're going to do a retake on your formative to help you then study again for your graded quiz on Friday. So at this time, if there's no more questions, we're going to turn off the video. And if you're working individually, you're going to go get your retake of your formative. And if you're in the whole group, the substitute or Mrs. Eder will now pass out your formative assessment retake. When you are done, you should go get the answer key and you should grade it and then record your score on the binder in the front of the room. If you finish and other people still aren't, there's some practice problems that the substitute will hand out to you or Mrs. Eder over absolute value to again help you study for Friday.